Hey everybody, this is my German blue ram. Well, those are my guppies, but that's my German blue ram down there. And I'm currently treating it with Maricin 2 because one of its eyes is sort of bulging out of its head. And I've been doing a little bit of work to this tank. I've added a new heater to it, I've been putting some salt in the tank, and we've been treating the fish in a variety of ways. So this is just going to be a little update because, of course, I'm having issues with my new heater. Real quickly, I'm going to say that I think the fish is getting better. I've noticed a little improvement in the behavior, and I've also noticed some of its color is starting to come back. Even down there, kind of hiding in the shadows, you can see it's starting to look a little bit more vibrant. For a day or two there, it was starting to look really washed out and pale, which is never good, especially in a really bright, vibrant cichlid like that. So I think the treatment is probably working, and I think the raised temperature in the tank is probably working. So I bought this new heater that you can see in the far right corner right there, because my current heater that I've got in the far left corner down here has really just, I don't know, I just don't think it's cutting the mustard as far as keeping the entire tank warm enough. I now have it set for 30 degrees, and you can see the red light is on, indicating that once again it is heating, trying to get the tank up to 30 degrees. So yesterday I put my new heater in it, and of course whenever you put a new heater in a tank and you've got one of these little dials on the top, just because you dial it to say 85 degrees doesn't mean that tank is going to get 85 degrees exactly because that little dial said so. Those things are not that accurate. So whenever you've got a new heater in the tank, you always want to be really mindful of the tank's temperature until you've fully established that it's as hot as it's going to get and the heater's done all it's going to do. So I kept a pretty close eye on it all last night. I sat in here till, I don't know, after midnight looking at the tank, and the temperature was fine. What I did was I put my heater that I use, or my thermometer that I use for my oven, in the water, and I just kept an eye on it, and it topped out steady at 84.6 degrees, and it just sat there all evening at 84.6. It would fluctuate 1/10 of a degree. It would drop down to 84.5 or 84.7. It would go up to occasionally, but it just sat there all night. And so I thought, okay, everything's fine. But when I woke up this morning, I came in and I looked, and the first thing I saw before I turned the light on was the thermometer was still sitting there, and it said the tank was 165 degrees. So after my heart started beating again, I realized that I didn't have fish soup. I didn't have a simmering tank at 165 degrees. So clearly the thermometer just went haywire by sitting, in the tank reading the temperature all night long. I'm not sure why, but it's just that really, I figured if you just kept it on, it would just show you whatever the temperature is, just like any other normal thermometer always displays the current temperature. I don't know why being left in the tank overnight would have given me crazy, 165 degree temperatures. In fact, while I'm talking about it and thinking about it, I'm going to turn it on and throw it in the tank right now and see what it gets up to, because it only takes a moment or two. So we'll see what it says while we're standing here. But needless to say, I started looking around to find out, what temperature the tank really was, and my thermometer, or the thermometer on this heater, you can see the temperature there, was reading 31 degrees. And so I turned the thermometer down, or I turned this heater down, because I thought that was the issue, that I was running it too warm, and it was just getting the tank too hot. This one was not coming on. It was just sitting up at 30 or 31 degrees and just staying there. And so I thought, okay, everything's fine, but it just kept getting hotter and hotter, and it just kept getting up to 31 degrees. And I finally, after the third time I bumped the heater back a little bit, I finally looked over and I realized that thing is half full of water, or at least it appeared to be. I haven't actually pulled it out of the tank yet. I did immediately unplug it. However, if you're, before you even think that first thing I did was reach down and unplug it, and I just left it there. So I did not actually pull it out and look, but I'm pretty sure, yeah, that doesn't look like a good heater. I put this in brand new yesterday, and so that's what it looks like. So I've already ordered a replacement. This is an Aqueon heater, which is not a bad brand, but it's also not a good high dollar, high quality brand. I can't afford the good high dollar, high quality stuff. Everything I do is sort of on the cheap or at least on a budget. And so, like the Aquatop or Aqueon are usually the brands I get when I'm buying stuff like tank heaters and whatnot. But I just wanted to throw it out there that sometimes you do get defective products. I bought a one of these digital heaters for my tank downstairs, and I had problems with one of those one time. It doesn't happen often. Out of all the heaters I've bought over the years, and I've bought many, I've only once or twice had one that actually was defective right from the get-go. And more than likely, what happened was it got cracked in shipping or something like that. I did notice when I put it in the water, I got a bunch of bubbles rising up from the bottom, and I assumed that air bubbles were trapped in this. Let's see if this. Oh, I can hear the glass crunching around in there. I'm not even going to try to pull that off. So yeah, that's just broken glass in there. You hear it crunching around. So the box probably got dropped during shipment or something like that. So it happens. I probably should have inspected it a little more closely before I put it in the tank. I'm not too worried about electrocuting the fish in the tank. I don't really think that's how it would work. The tank, as far as I can tell, is not grounded out or anything. And if the electricity was going to short, it would simply blow my circuit breaker before it would send electricity through the tank. Now, I could be wrong about that. If somebody has experience with that, where fish have been electrocuted by a faulty heater or something, I'd be interested to know about that. But I don't see how that would actually happen. Knowing the little bit I know about, electricity, the tank would actually have to have a ground for the electricity to flow through the tank and then down into the ground. There's just no reason the electricity would, just travel around in the tank before leaving the tank again. It just doesn't work that way. So I wasn't really worried about killing my fish, but I was worried about killing them in the overheating sense. And I was also worried about, popping a circuit breaker in the middle of the night or something like that. That's always an issue. You don't want to do that and have a whole entire circuit in your house go down when you don't know it. But anyway, you slice it. I got a new one ordered, and again, it's not the brand. It's just got cracked in delivery or something, and I should have caught that before I put it in the tank. But I did catch it without any real problems happening, and so now we're just going to have to wait another day until we get a new one. So by now, this thing should be telling us whatever it's going to tell us. So it's telling us that it's 93.6 degrees in the tank. So this thermometer clearly is not working right, because there's absolutely no way that is 93 degrees. And this, that even says it just bumped up to 30 from being a 29 a second ago. So there's no way that that's accurate. And again, when I came in this morning, it said it was 165 degrees. So I don't think you'd see all those fish swimming around in there if that was really 165 degrees. So never a dull moment with me. If it ain't one thing, it's another. I've always got something going on here. So make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss any of it. I'm off now to go head down to the fish room and find out what's going on down there. So who knows, you might get another video tonight if I've got something going on down there that's worth shooting some video of. So make sure you're subscribed and you won't miss that or anything else I've got coming up here on my 20-gallon open-topped office tank. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you real soon on the next one.